What's good, LATD Nation, man? This is your boy Jay, man. We back in here with another video, man. I've been saying man a lot. I got my partner in crime, as always.
Rodney, a.k.a. RG from the 843, here to talk to you about the new season of The Boys. It's finally out. It premiered, what was it?
Friday.
Friday?
June 7th.
Yeah, I believe so, Friday. And obviously, you know, with both of us being huge fans of the series, we were both eagerly anticipating this season.
Oh, yeah.
And so far, from these first 3 episodes, what did you think?
I thought they were actually pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, I like how Homelander's development is he's starting to get more bored with everybody. He's starting to see nobody wants to stand up for themselves, because there's a certain scene in the first episode where he tells
oh, that scene was funny. I ain't gonna lie to you. No spoilers, of course.
Yeah, no
but
spoilers.
If you watch it, you know what we're talking about.
Yeah, if you know. Because my thing is, bro, you might as well just laser me in the face. Because I'm not, nah, bro, you be all right. You'll be all right, cuz I'm Homelander. You done, no. You good, bro.
The two were willing to go through with it too is what was really crazy about it.
Right, and he's like, but then he wants to complain about people not being able to stand up to him.
But when you are literally the strongest person in your universe, why would anybody want to stand? Well, actually, I think, and that kind of brings you to like Butcher and his relationship. I think that Butcher, he respects him because he's one of the very few people that actually actively shows contempt and disdain for him, treats him kind of like an actual human being in a sense.
Yeah, that's a great observation, bro.
I think that's why he kind of likes Butcher.
Yeah,
to a degree, he respects him.
Yeah, at least a respect. It's a respect thing. Like where Homelander is like we were saying many times before, he's a great villain.
Oh yeah,
super complex. Like you feel bad for him to a degree, but you also
mostly hate him.
But you mostly hate him. But you see where he's coming from as far as like him being quote unquote sympathetic. But you know, he's a great example of it's not where you from, it's where you're going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, I think the biggest observation that I had with these first 3 episodes is, honestly, and this is something that I've kind of noticed with the past season and a half going, right, as far as like counting this one, I feel like as time has gone on, Huey has been less and less relevant in his own show. Because if you really look at the beginning of the series, like the first 2 seasons did a pretty good job of like kind of like firmly, you know, making this story about him. Like everything was kind of going through him, his perspective. Right. But as time has gone on, you can tell that Butcher's storyline and his rivalry with Homelander is kind of taking precedent over Huey. Yep. Like Huey does have a storyline that you, in my opinion, I think is more interesting than his storyline last season. Because last season it was all about how he felt like he was useless, and he kind of felt as though, you know, nobody really thought of him as being strong like everybody else, which was why he was using the Temp V. Right,
because now I feel like his storyline with A-Train is really more taking a back seat.
Oh yeah, no, I was about to get to that. Yeah,
but my fault.
No,
but that's the thing, like, because you saw in the, I don't know if I'm able to say this on YouTube, but in that certain episode in season 3, you know, they have not a heart to heart, but he confronts A-Train and tells him, "Hey, yo, apologize. You never said sorry." And A-Train,
he did.
He did, and it seems sincere, and it's like all the stuff going on in his life. Let me get on. You mind if I talk about A-Train for a second?
Yeah.
At first, I thought A-Train was nothing but like a stooge, just another patsy. But the more you kind of like see him, the more like Vought tries to treat him like that token black character.
Oh yeah. There's a scene in this. I think it was episode 2.
Right. It was
where you see he's acting in like a movie and whatever.
Right, and Will Ferrell makes a cameo, and I saw like the little trivia tidbits that they posted.
Oh yeah. That's one of the best things about the show is like, you know, reading all of the like extra little bit of information that they put in it.
Yeah, it said that scene was based on The Wire, which I love that show. You already know. We're gonna talk about it one day. I'm gonna try and get Rod to talk about it.
For sure.
To watch it too.
So when we talk about Breaking Bad,
well, we'll talk about both.
We really need to talk about Breaking Bad.
Oh yeah, definitely. Shoot, stay tuned. But the thing is, with that part, it really showed you how
disrespected he is.
Exactly. Like everything that because the scene is like based on The Wire, but it takes like the premise of every other Like The Blind Side, for example. It takes the what people hated about The Blind Side and cranks it up to 11 here.
Like in a satirical sense.
Exactly. And it's like you said, you see how he's disrespected. Like everybody just sees him as like the token black guy, and nobody.
And they don't really look at him like he's of value, basically.
Right. He's just another.
Because I remember even, and like I said, I've always told you this is one of my favorite scenes in the entire series. When it's season 3, of course, when Homelander sits down A-Train, Ashley, and Deep. And he just like he has Noir's helmet and everything. Right. Spoilers, of course, but I mean, if you're watching this video, you probably watched The Boys at this point. But yeah, he just looks at them all and just points to them and says, Noir was worth more than all of you put together. Which I always really, really enjoyed that scene because it just Homelander just basically telling them what he thinks of them, you know. And I think with A-Train before was so desperate to have that fame and that glory and that respect, but now he's starting to see that he's sold out, and you know the consequences of him selling out is he's lost his family and things like that. He's starting to wonder if it was worth it. So I really think that what they're doing with A-Train, what they've set up for him this season is going to be really compelling. I really like, you know, the whole sort of will he, won't he, you know, will he come to the light basically. Right. And I think with that, you know, with that storyline, I think that's kind of almost rendered, going back to Huey, I think that's almost kind of rendered Huey kind of obsolete because the whole reason for him joining the boys, obviously everybody knows the beginning of the series, you know, his girlfriend gets killed, so Butcher finds him, recruits him and everything. But now that A-Train has kind of gotten to a point to where he's not really evil, quote unquote, like he used to be.
He's more like a disgruntled worker.
It's kind of hard to look at Huey as if he has any. It's like his plot line has been settled but not settled.
Right, I agree.
It's kind of like he's kind of found closure, but not the way that we initially maybe thought. And so now Huey's kind of just there. And so for me, my interest really primarily lies with Butcher. Same. You know, Temp V and everything at the end of season 3. He supposedly has 6 months to live. You know, his brain is like starting to ooze, you know, this black, whatever you want to call it, like this black like sludge or whatever from him overusing Temp V. So, you know, it's kind of like us sort of seeing what he's going to do with the time he's got left. He's burned a lot of bridges at this point. A lot of even his most loyal friends like MM, Frenchie, they've all kind of like taken a backseat to him. They don't really care for him like that. Right. Interestingly enough, Huey's one of, or really isn't the only person that still actually values having Butcher around.
Because I think Huey sees and Butcher, like, sees that Butcher kind of has a good heart. Yeah. Like, he means well, but Butcher himself thinks he's done too much to go back.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
And now to the point, because he has 6 months to live, you know, he kind of has done too much to go back. People have tried to tell him. People have warned him. People have, you know, gotten in his way.
He's tried to be better, but he's never really quite been able to stay on that track.
Exactly.
You know, like I think Ryan is kind of supposed to be like his saving grace. I think they're setting Ryan up to sort of be the thing that saves Butcher.
Right. Because the biggest thing about Butcher that I noticed, he doesn't want to be who he is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
He doesn't want to be this big, brooding jerk. He wants to be who he was before Homelander did what he did to Becca. Yeah. Before all of this even happened.
Well, they say he was a jerk even before he met Becca. But he wasn't as bad, I guess.
But he wasn't that,
He didn't go down that path of hate.
Right.
Until after Becca and everything. Until he lost everything.
Right. That's why I like Butcher as a character.
A lot, yeah.
And he's really, really cool. Like, the thing is, man, Disney, you wasted Carl Urban's potential. Honestly. They did. Because Carl Urban was what's his name, Scourge in Thor Ragnarok, the bald headed dude with the guns and everything.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was just another throwaway side character, and that's how Disney used him. I'm like, but the performances that he gives in these 3 episodes and shooting, really even the whole show, it's just like it's
like I said,
phenomenal.
Butcher and Carl Urban is really taken over. I feel like Butcher is basically the main character at this point.
Yeah.
Butcher is essentially the main character. Because even if you look at the posters for each and every season, Huey has always kind of been like on the side. He's never like
Right.
been if he's even in the poster at all. Butcher is in the poster every season prominently.
Like pretty much everybody except for Huey, like MM and Kimiko, Frenchie, like all of them are really more compelling than Huey really is at this point.
I was about to say at this point, all of those guys are more compelling than him.
Because it's like, but I kind of do hate that for Huey's character.
Because it's not that Huey's a bad. I like Huey.
Yeah, same.
Huey I don't think that they've been able to really keep Huey as interesting as these other people.
Exactly, because he hasn't really been affected as much by Vought. Granted, that might be a stretch to say that, but he hasn't really been affected by Vought as much as these guys have. Oh, yeah. Kimiko was literally a lab experiment. Frenchie was a hitman.
Annie was, directly in the 7, so she experienced trauma through that.
MM
lost his whole family.
Lost his whole family.
Because Soldier Boy.
Because it's
my favorite character in the universe. Hopefully, he makes a return.
He made a return in Gen V.
Oh yeah, he did.
Boy, okay. Anyway, but like MM, yeah, you're right. He lost his whole family because of Vought and everything. Because of Vought and most directly because of Soldier Boy, because he threw like a car.
Yeah, killed his whole family.
Just his grandfather.
That's
but still, suffice to say, in Butcher, you already know Butcher just wants Homelander gone.
Oh yeah, Butcher has a very good reason to want Homelander dead.
And like one thing, in the 2 new characters that they introduced in this.
Oh yeah, definitely want to talk about them. Sister Sage and was it Firecracker?
Firecracker, the Jubilee parody.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe her.
Yeah, because that's essentially what she is. She snaps her fingers, and all you see is like sparkling.
Yeah,
like the thing cool about her was it was the fact that she's just another grifter.
Yeah, that's what I like about her. One thing I really like about her is that she doesn't believe any of the things that she's saying, but she's stirring up these people.
Right.
To believe, this nonsense.
Right.
Which is, of course, she's coming into conflict with the Starlighters, the new faction that's kind of rallied behind Annie and her cause and everything like that. And it's just a lot of civil unrest in the show. And I really like what they're doing with Firecracker's character. She's not really necessary. She says she's strong. We haven't seen that yet.
She's probably the base level soup strong, though.
But I think what's really going to make her interesting is kind of like you said, her being sort of that grifter character, just kind of that manipulative, sort of like conniving, underhanded sort of archetype. I really like what they're doing with that, especially with what they're doing with her and Annie.
Yeah,
their personal
rivalry,
sort of rivalry, quote unquote. Which of course
started with Annie.
Yeah, in episode 3, you find out that they were on the same pageant circuit for 3 years.
Yeah.
And Annie pretty much ruined her chances at success, and pretty much
by spreading a rumor about her.
Yeah, and it's just like all these years later, it's like the chickens have come home to roost, and Firecracker's really bent on seeing Annie's destruction, not just as Starlight, but just as a person in general.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say that she's not. I'm not gonna say what Annie did, what Annie said, but if when y'all watch the show, you'll see what we're talking. And if you have watched the show, then you already know what we're talking about, what we're referring to. I kind of don't blame her for being mad, but then again, they were like little girls, so
they were like 13 at the time.
So yeah, this is probably like 20 years later, so she probably needs to let that go.
Yeah, I wouldn't say 20, probably about 10.
Yeah, something like that. I think
Annie is supposed to be like in her, 23 or something like that.
Well, okay. Well, in that regard, I don't blame her really for being mad and everything.
Yeah.
The thing is, I thought the grifter angle would have been more for Sister Sage, considering that's because I watched New Rockstars video. Shout out New Rockstars, Eric Voss and what's her name? The other girl, but shout out her too. She's great. So they say that Sister Sage joining the 7 could be like an allusion to a certain black grifter out there, one named Candace Owens. So watching this show was kind of surprising to see that Sister Sage was really more indifferent. Just kind of
she doesn't care whatsoever. She only cares purely about herself. From what we've seen, we don't know what her motivations are. We don't know what it is that's driving her or what isn't driving her. Right. So far, we just know that she's just manipulative. She's the smartest person in the world, and she uses it in a way to her own benefit, because there's kind of this angle that she's sort of helping Homelander, but really Homelander's being manipulative. She's almost like the new Madeline in a way.
Yep.
She's almost like the new handler, basically.
Yeah, thank you. That's
I would say that.
Because Madeline is you know, but it's like, I agree. I 100% agree. Because she just doesn't, she just seems bored all the time. I like her character.
Which, I mean, it kind of makes sense because when you're the smartest person in every room that you walk in and you know that, it's just kind of like it takes the fun out of life, I guess you could say.
Right. Yeah, that's true. But it's like, I like how she's kind of like Stan too. She kind of keeps it what it keeps.
Stan Edgar,
yeah, she keeps.
Which I wonder if we're gonna see a return.
I kind of hope so. I'm not even.
Yeah, I mean that is played by my guy Giancarlo.
Yes, sir.
Shout out Breaking Bad, of course, and Better Call Saul.
Yes, sir. Which I'm about to finish Better Call Saul.
It's about time.
Well, I'm still in season 5, but but yeah, I really do enjoy her character in these first 3 episodes. Like, I can't wait till more episodes drop. I kind of wish they would have dropped all at one time.
To be real with you, because like it's just like this is one of my favorite shows, and I've just been hooked on it ever since I watched the very first season, and it's just like the wait is killing me because I just want to see how everything continues. What did you think of Deep so far? What they've done with Deep this season? Deep, I'm just gonna go ahead and spoil this because
Go ahead.
So in this season so far, Deep's character arc is that he's with Ambrosius, which I don't know how many of y'all remember that was an octopus from season 3. And now they've developed it to where it's a full on like romance, but it's not. Right. It's like he's kind of like ashamed of her.
And she's played by Tilda Swinton.
Yeah.
And because like you said in season 3 in that certain episode, Hero Blank.
That's one of my favorite episodes of the entire series.
That's where
one of my favorite moments, in fact.
That's when he gets caught in the octopus. Well, that's when he gets caught with Ambrosia being Ambrosius. So I think I like that scene because Annie got her get back with that one.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because like the Deep, I like how they keep playing the Deep as like a joke.
My thing is that early in the series, I thought that Deep was kind of going to be, he was going to be taken as a joke at first, but as time went on, he was going to kind of be more, seriously taken. But I think that at this point in the series, I highly doubt it just because we got confirmation that season 5 is the last season. So unless they start doing a 180 now, I think with Deep, it's kind of to a point where he's just always going to be that gag character. Oh, yeah. Which I don't really mind because he's never really been taken serious like that. Right. There's never been even a hint that he was taken serious. He's always been a joke.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm glad that they've continued that,
Right, I agree. Especially because he doesn't deserve to be anything more than that after what he did in season 1.
Yeah, he doesn't really deserve to even be put on any pedestal other than just being that joke gag character, which it hasn't gotten old to me.
Nah, saying from 100, because I like I just like how they just keep beating him across the head and with him being a joke and everything.
But he's too stupid to acknowledge it, and that's what I really like about it. But one thing I do like is how Sister Sage is kind of manipulating him to stand up for himself to Ashley. One of my most hated characters in the show. Yeah. Tired of her.
Same.
I'm ready to see her get fired.
But my thing is, like, my favorite character.
Fired, quote unquote. Go ahead.
My favorite character so far has always really been MM. In my honest opinion.
Butcher and MM are my 2 favorites. Yeah. And Homelander.
Yeah. I just like, but man, I can't wait till Homelander gets the brakes beat off him next season though.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because in this season he's really kind of going off the rails, and he wants to be like, if you heard in the trailer, he wants them to be more like wrathful gods, and really, and especially let's talk about Homelander and Ryan's, Homelander and Ryan real quick.
They're dynamic, yeah.
Right? Because the thing is with Ryan's still a kid. He's only like what, 12?
Yeah.
He doesn't really know much about the world around him because he was kept in solitude this whole time with Becca. His whole life, yeah. And it's like, I like what they're doing with him because it's starting to show you that Homelander doesn't know how to deal with anybody but himself.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, heck, he don't even know how to deal with himself.
Exactly.
And it's like, now you're going to throw a kid in the mix. And Homelander really sees humans, or regular humans, as playthings, insects, just roaches.
And that's what he's teaching Ryan. But Ryan, he's starting to see he's kind of seeing the writing on the wall with Homelander.
Right.
You can tell that he's not necessarily as convinced of Homelander as he was at the end of season 3.
Right.
So it's really interesting to see how that's kind of like that sort of disruption. It's like this sort of like this whole family dynamic between Ryan and Butcher and Homelander and Ryan, and just kind of seeing basically who he's gonna side with.
Exactly.
Because you can tell that Ryan is in his heart of hearts more truly fond of Butcher, but I think that he values Homelander for what he thinks he is, and he's trying to hold on to that idea.
Right.
But it's only a matter of time until he sees Homelander for who he really is. He's already seeing him.
Yeah, just an immature psychopath.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because the thing is with Ryan, one scene that I really did like in these first 3 episodes was when Butcher and Ryan really have that heart to heart.
Yeah.
Like, because there's another guy in this show called, in this, I forgot his name, but he's played by, what's his name? Jeffrey Dean Morgan?
Yeah, Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Yep.
Yeah, he's played by Jeffrey
Walking
Dean.
Dead.
Yep.
You know,
he played Negan.
Yes,
yeah.
yes, sir.
So I forgot his name, but he's based off this character in the comics called Monkey. Don't really look it up because I shouldn't have brought it up. But don't look it up because the comics are very disturbing.
Yeah.
Even more than this show. So please. But he's based off a character. I forgot his name in the show, but he's based off a character named Monkey in the
I think
comics.
his name is like John in the show.
Something like that. Yeah. Okay. So he wants to pretty much use Ryan as like another weapon.
Yeah.
As much as Homelander sees humans as like pets and roaches and so it's just lower society. He sees Supes as like weapons and everything.
Yeah.
And pretty much how Vought sees Supes now. So the thing is, he wants to use Ryan as like a weapon before Homelander gets into too far into his head and everything. And I bring that up to say that because Butcher is supposed to essentially drug him, and with some like weird cookies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I like that Butcher ends up
throwing him away. Yeah.
Yeah. It shows much growth that, like I said, he doesn't want to be this bad guy he thinks he already is. And people are...
because he loves Ryan. Because Ryan is the only thing that he has of Becca at this point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he
wants to do right by Becca because Becca made him promise that he would look after him. Basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I hope eventually that I hope they really diverge from the comics more in the end because I don't want to see all these characters... Nothing. What happens in the comics happen to these characters, you know? Because like I said, I like how Butcher is really just compelling and more, coming out of his shell and letting Ryan know how he really feels in regards to like him as a person, and how he doesn't want to be this way. He tells him about his brother,
exactly.
Throws the cookies away, says he used too much sugar, which is a terrible lie, I think.
But I mean, it's the best lie he had, in his mind at the time.
But like, and it's like I really can't wait to see what more happens with this show.
Strong start, very strong start.
So we'll see. So yeah, well, we'll see. Have another review up.
Oh yeah, we're gonna go weekly. We'll review episodes as they come out.
Yeah.
Because I mean, this, like I said, one of our favorite shows. I'm here for it. We don't get new seasons of The Boys, but so often this is the first season in like almost 2 years. In about 2 years.
About 2 years.
Yeah.
Because season 3 didn't come out till like 21, I think.
I thought it was 2022. It was like 2 years ago.
2 years. I'm tripping.
I mean, either way, but yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to it. I really want to see where they take the characters and everything. I think that they have all started in a strong place. We didn't get to everything, but as the episodes come out, we're going to be diving in more towards like these storylines, these characters, their dynamics.
Right.
Just everything as it progresses. We're going to be here to kind of, give our thoughts and our opinion on it. So, stay tuned for that. Weekly episode reviews of The Boys coming soon. And I pretty much have nothing to say other than that. I'm excited. I'm glad it's back.
Same.
I just want to see where it goes. And that's pretty much it.
Yes, sir. Stay tuned. Later on, we got another album versus album for you. Artist versus artist.
Yes, sir. We got a lot of new content on the way.
Yes, sir. Like you said, stay tuned for the Boys content, man. Stay tuned for the reviews. Stay tuned for Acolyte reviews too. We're gonna do a whole series.
Oh yeah, no, we're gonna have something to say about Afterlife. I'm a big Star Wars fan, and
really just Star Wars in general.
Oh yeah, for sure. In fact, we'll do a video, the state of Star Wars,
right? The
state of the Star Wars community. So be on the lookout for that.
Yes, sir.
As a lifelong Star Wars fan, I've had a lot to say for many years now, since Last Jedi came out.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
I'm ready. Shoot, I'm ready for the show, bro.
For sure.
But yes, sir. Y'all boy have a good one. I've been Jay.
And this has been Rodney.
And we're at LATD. Look at the details, y'all. Peace.